Welcome to this tutorial for the beta version of the Retro Future Synthcomposer. Note, as it's written here, this is just a demo. We are in the middle of developing this system and also, of course, the user interface. We're really excited to see your results, what you're creating with this Synthcomposer, with this artificial intelligence. And also we are really excited to get your feedback, how much you like certain functionality, telling us about possible bugs, and of course also telling us what kind of features you would like to have for the future. First of all, to make this clear, you can use this Retro Future Synthcomposer on every platform, if it is a tablet or if it is a smartphone. It is working on all systems because it's just simply running on a server, and that's also the reason why you hear this loud ventilation noise, because the server is right now next working here to me, and at the moment there's about 50 beta testers doing some music with it. So first of all, if you're part of our beta team, you received this token, you copy it here into this field and you submit it, and then you get straight into the composer. The composer right now delivers two kind of outputs. One is like an audio stream on a flute synth, which is a general MIDI kind of sound module, which doesn't sound perfect, but it gives you an overview, or let's say a listen, how you like the composition or not. And then if you like it, you can press the MIDI button and then you export MIDI files and you can use them in your sequences. And I'm going to show you the process, how it is working. First of all, you see here the 8 bars, and each bar contains a chord, so you can here put different chords. We have all kind of chords, put it from diminished, augmented, 7th, 5th, and so on chords, of course in minor and major, so you can create every scale. And of course you can create the scale which you're working, for example, on a song at. And but if you want to just try out scales, existing scales or interesting scales, or getting just inspired, we already fed the Retro Future Synthcomposer with a lot of chord progressions. And you might find out, or you just load one. For example, I take now here number 5 and I put here, for example, instead of the C major at the end, a D minor 7 to end the song here. I can select it here. So I put here a D minor 7. And for example, on bar number 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to put a C major. Is there? Perfect. What could I else put here? Yeah, for example, here I could put, that makes sense, an A minor. So, and then next to the 8 bars, what you're seeing here, we have 4 tracks at the moment. And you can, of course, decide what kind of instruments you want the Retro Future Synthcomposer compose for you. So you can, for example, choose here drums, but you also can choose other instruments. Here is now a synth bass right now. We have here a pad. And for example, here we put now, instead of this lead square, some other instrument, for example, a voice, a solo voice could be a possibility. Note, it's really important. The composer is really acting exactly to what kind of instrument you put in, because it was trained on music that exists, many thousands of MIDI files, and of course the Retro Future Synthcomposer AI learned in a machine learning process how different voices are composed. So therefore you will see each time you choose different instruments, you will have different results on the composer. Then we have here the field of densities, and I will show you them the same as here our temperature features. First of all, we're going to just compose a track, an 8-bar theme, and press the compose button. You can see the inference on the server, and it will be soon. Here it is. For example, you would now like to have the bass a little bit different. You can now press here one button of those tracks you want to reprocess, because I think the first result is already quite nice. And we tell now the AI, create a new synth bass. And there came a variation of the theme. For example, I stop this fluid synth. I want, for example, like more density, more note density on some parts of the drums. So I can reprocess the drums and also tell it the temperature in this field. So we reprocess just only the drums. And we have a reprocess of the drums. What is also quite interesting, while you have created this and you would like then to create a different kind of instrument because you realize the solo voice is not what you want to have here, and we can, for example, put here a cello and tell it then also to play different scales, because sometimes it makes sense that you have a different scale in the melody than in the chords. So you just press then also reprocess and you get a new composition. And if you like this, then you press the MIDI. You see directly downloaded here MIDI file, and now you can work with this. For example, we take here this one and copy it, for example, here on a GarageBand. You just drag and drop it. We keep it like it is. And now we can work with that. We already composed a few parts before, and you can then instantly hear how it's sounding with the instruments of this sequencer here. So. And for example, you now realize, well, the drum what you just recently processed is not the one you want to have. Then you go again and reprocess a new version of it. You compose it and you will get it and hear it instantly. So we try now out this. We also say again MIDI download and put it then again into our GarageBand as drag and drop. Here it is. And we can have a listen to it. Here was a loop from the first part created before. And if you now think this is not enough of instruments, you can, for example, create here like some extra chords. We do it now with a ensemble sound and create it. If we don't like it, we just redo it again. Yeah, the higher notes is perhaps nice, so we create it again as a MIDI file. It's downloaded and we can put it into our arrangement, and then using only the string part, put it, for example, here. There's already prepared some strings, and now we go into the composition. And as I said, we composed already before some tracks with the Retro Future Synthcomposer and copied them now together. And now I show you it's not so different. For example, when I want to work here with my Ableton Live. So, oops, one moment. So, only thing is you have to change the ending because he has written .midi, and you need a .mid file for the Ableton Live. You just drag and drop it, and you can play it then. So much about our retro future Synthcomposer. We are of course providing you with a lot of updates, so you will see in the future a lot of different versions and new functionality. We would be really thankful that you send us feedback, how you were composing it, also your tricks, how you trick the system, how you do different kind of compositions with it. And of course, as I told you, it varies extremely from the instruments you put here into the setting, and of course on the chord constructions, because the more normal chord constructions you have, the more normal kind of sounding results you get. But the more you have complex and different kind of chords, you get sometimes really extremely interesting results. And also we have here this functionality to decide the temperature of the composition is conservative, neutral, liberal and courageous. You can experiment with this to get then different results. So have a lots of fun and see you with the next tutorial. Bye!